Hey, Ryan Michael Galloway here, and with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, and I'm with Dan Parr, Dan Scott Parr, also known as Dano, and to his younger friends. And well, the premise of this series of talks over the next few nights is going to be to talk about a little bit more on niche marketing. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Dan, we talked to Ked of Ked Records, who has done niche or niche marketing around motorsports. And that's great that you're into that. It's kind of a very specialized group, but he sold thousands of CDs and it worked out really well. And so, you know, you may be into selling CDs, you may be into selling performances. I know you're trying to get a certain number of dates going together and that kind of thing. But let's start with a little background on you so we can explain why it led to the particular niche that you ended up with. And we won't tell exactly what that is just yet.
Okay.
But Dan and I met about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It's been a while. We started a Songwriters Association together with Michael the Mudcat Reams and C. Aaron Moore in our area. And so that was kind of cool. That's how we got to know each other. But so you've done a couple things. You had a band for a while.
Couple bands.
And you were doing music for an adult market.
Right.
And there's something a little else that went on in your past, that you weren't just a musician. What was the other thing that you were doing?
Well, for 15, 16 years now, I've been in education.
Education, and that includes...
Teacher for a while, administrator for a while.
Okay. So it just so happens that Dan was an assistant principal when I met him, and he was an assistant principal for my kids at their school.
And they never got in trouble.
And they never got in trouble that I couldn't get them out of. But anyway, so yeah, we got lucky on that one. But anyway, so Mr. Parr's over at the house playing music again. You know, it was really they knew that I knew this guy and that this guy was watching them, so they helped quite a bit. So that's your background, that your education. So you're in front of a lot of people, young people, but you were in front of a lot of people, getting up in front of folks and you know, working with a crowd and that kind of thing because of assemblies and all that stuff. That was pretty natural for you.
I was used to it, yeah.
Okay. And you did some recordings. You put out, was it 3 CDs? 2 CDs?
Two CDs,
Back then.
just solo stuff.
Yeah.
And then the duo thing, kind of the world music stuff, just for fun. But 2 things that I was actually making an effort to get a record deal and find an audience and all that stuff.
And was it Texarkana or Paris that you recorded those?
Texarkana.
Texarkana.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
So there's a good little studio out there, and it's funny, every once in a while, off in these small towns, way out, you know, between, you know, halfway between a couple much larger songs, or larger towns, excuse me, you can find some pretty good studios tucked away, and I've actually known several folks that have worked them out there in the Texarkana area. So, so that's your background, and tomorrow night we're going to talk to you about what he got into for his niche that this led him to. So for right now, I'm Ryan Michael Galloway, and I'm with Dan Scott Parr, also known as Dano, and of course I'm with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com.